All right, I think I'm ready. Uh, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all well. Hope you can hear me well. Probably not because there's been millions of technical issues tonight. Looks like my mic's moving though, so I'm going to assume you can. Uh, yeah, hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday to everybody. I'm going to start by opening this because I'm a bit stressed out and I need a can of cider. So drinking a bit of Copperberg from a can. Just because I was brought some in a can, so that's what I'm going to drink. It's all sided to me. Actually, music seems a little bit on the loud side. Let me just knock that down a bit. There we go. I don't know why that was so loud. Let me know if I've knocked that down a bit too far or not. I don't know. So it seems like Twitch changed something to do with their API logins. So there's a no-auth login you need to call in order to log your bots in and stuff, and then it gives you a redirect URL to be, or it redirects the page to a URL that you provide once you've logged in successfully. But for some reason, that stopped working in OBS. And it turns out the reason it stopped working was because it's something to do with hardware acceleration of browser sources. So I have no idea what's going to happen tonight because I've had to turn hardware acceleration off. So it could be that when the quiz comes up or the race comes up, everything really slows down. We shall see. Hey, Class Cat, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow and the sub. By the way, I spotted that as I was testing stuff out. So thank you very much for the subscription. Thank you very much for the follow and welcome along. Hope you enjoy everything. Yeah, that was kind of a bit worrying. I was this close to not streaming tonight because of that, because I had no overlay. There would have been no music, no quiz, no races. The only thing you would have been alerts and chat, and that would have been it. There'd have been no overlay. No music, no additional commands or anything. It was a bit of a mess. So I was close to stopping it, but thankfully I looked up some stuff from ages ago, and they recommended if the browser source wasn't working to turn off hardware acceleration, and surprise, it works now. So I don't know why that is, but thank you for the bits, Nicamo. Appreciate it as ever. Cheers, my man. What's going on at the moment? Nothing really. I mean, this is the thing we're doing one game at a time. We're kind of laser focused on one thing at a time. It's nice. I completed the main story of Forbidden West today. That was kind of cool. Yeah, not much to say other than it's a very good game. I definitely recommend it if you've got a PlayStation 5. I don't know what it's like on the PS4. I imagine it's okay. I mean, the performance mode still looks amazing. I'm sure it's just like the performance mode with a lower frame rate. But it's a brilliant game. Really, really enjoyed it. More so than the first one. It's actually made me want to go back and play the first one properly, because I don't think I quite got it with the first one, and I kind of got bored of it very quickly, like probably too quickly before I kind of opened anything up, I think. So I think I might go back to that, but I'm going to wait till I get my Steam Deck for that and play it on the Steam Deck. I think it'd be very good on the Steam Deck. So yeah, very good game. I think it was 26 hours it took to complete the story, and a handful of side quests. I didn't do very many side quests, a handful, I would say. Finished on 30% complete, so there's still 70% of stuff left to do, and the stuff that's the side quest stuff is pretty good as well. It's pretty exciting, so definitely worth picking up. Hey Kodiogo, hey SP as well, welcome. And the reason I rushed through that, so I got the game on Sunday, and the reason I rushed through it was partly because I didn't sleep very well this week, so I was using it to kind of, when I couldn't sleep, I just turn the game on and play it for another hour and hopefully get a bit more sleep. But also because Elden Ring comes out tomorrow, and I've got that coming, and I know that if that's good, I'm not going to I wouldn't have continued playing Horizon, so I was on a mission to kind of at least complete the story. And just managed to do it this evening. So So good stuff. And then I shall continue my open world questing with Elden Ring tomorrow, and probably die 1,000 times an hour, um, which is fine. I understand that it's going to be a tough game. So yeah. All right, let's start the well. Let's give you all some points first, and then start the races. I've got an idea for something to spend your points on. That's going to add a bit more gaming to the overlay. I've got an idea. The idea I've got should be relatively simple to implement, as in it should only take me an hour or two to implement. And I can probably add a new section to it every week. But it will be a way to not gamble your points, but it'll be a way to spend your points with the chance of winning more. And it will be like a group game. So I'll give you a basic idea of how it will work, but I'm not going to tell you what the games are going to be. Basically, there'll be a small window, probably about the size of the camera window that you can see here. And that will appear probably in the top corner, top left corner, somewhere out of the way where it doesn't kind of impede on the stream. That game will be triggered by somebody buying it with channel points. So it'll be a relatively expensive thing. I don't know how many channel points everybody has got, but it won't be super cheap. Basically, if that person triggers the game, it will appear in the top corner, and you will all have the option to type something like play or something to join in the game. The game will be There'll be multiple games, but I've got an idea for the first one. When you type play, basically you get added to the pool of players for that game. Typing play means you spend shimmer shillings. It'll be something like 10,000 shimmer shillings to join the game. The idea being that whatever the pool is, so say 10 of you join, the pool becomes 100,000 points. If the game is won, everybody gets 100,000 points. So for the more people join in, the more you can win from it, but everybody wins. So that's the thing. And then what happens is the games will be turn based. So there'll be one turn that happens, and the game will pick a player who's selected, a player who's joined in at random, one player to join in. And the reason I'm doing it like that is so that we don't. Well, firstly, because some of the games are not going to work if everybody's trying to play them at the same time. But secondly, to prevent the kind of spam in the chat, basically. So a message will appear in the game window to say, "This player, you've got 60 seconds to play your round. If you don't play within 60 seconds, then it will pass to another player, and basically you will be able to just play a game. So to give you an example of a game, this may or may not happen. This is not the first game I'm going to do, but you can imagine noughts and crosses, for instance. So, or tic-tac-toe, if you're not familiar with the term noughts and crosses. It would appear on the screen. Everybody can click play. Then one person's picked at random. If that person gets picked, they get the chance to pick where you have your turn. If you win against the computer, or you win whatever the game may be, then everybody wins a portion of the pot. And it's a way for you all to have a few extra games on there. It'd be good if you could create the games as well. That's a very good possibility, actually, because it wouldn't be a difficult thing to do. So maybe if I can come up with a system that creates a quite simple API, then yes, it could definitely be done. But I've got a really good idea for the first one anyway, so I want to get it done. I might try and get it done for the weekend, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. It should only take me an hour or two. It shouldn't take long. All right, cool. Let's crack on. So let me start the races for you all. So as ever, we're doing Cecconoid. I have no idea how this is going to run, by the way, because as I say, browser hardware acceleration is turned off, so I have no idea if it's going to be bad or not. But yeah, there'll be the option to play several games, and it will be a game picked at random from the pool of games that are available. And yeah, maybe people can make games as well if they're interested, which would be kind of cool. Anything turn-based would work. Oh, nice. You got that one. SP. Well done. One of the legends. Yeah, I suppose it's a good one to get. Right. Okay. Let's get some brightness on my screen. So I can't remember exactly what we were doing last time. Oh, we had some bugs with the. Let me run it. I can't remember exactly. I know we were on the shooting, but I don't think we'd got it working quite right. Oh, I need to turn the music up as well. I was doing some music testing. Yeah, bullets and fix some bugs. Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember the. Yes, that's right. So it was why the sprite's not appearing. That was the thing. And we were just in the process of trying to work that out. So this border flash was to tell me that 2 bullets have been generated. So I know, do we find out where that's coming from? Actually, I think it's. I think we just implemented the border, didn't we? In here, when the bullets were added. So check remove. No, there's like an add. Aim the turret. Shoot the turret. Here we go. So in here, there we go. So there is a bullet being added, and this is what's flashing the border. That's why the border turns red, because it's saying that 2 bullets should have been fired from these turrets. Okay, cool. So first game, shoot mayhem. So another example would be the pairs game. You know, where you get like an array of like 20 cards shuffled in pair 10 pairs of cards, so 20 cards total, shuffled, placed face down. And you could have a game where you've got like I don't know, 5 lives. You've got to find all the pairs, but you can only make 5 mistakes or something like that. So I don't know. So something like that. It needs to be. Some games need to be kind of difficult to win. It shouldn't always be possible to win, but there will be some skill games as well. I've got some ideas for skill games. It should be interesting anyway. It should be interesting. So yeah, I will take on Kodiogo's idea as well of maybe opening it up for people to create their own games as well. So the only requirement will be you need to be able to write a JavaScript web application, basically. Shouldn't be difficult. Okay, right. Let's figure out why it's not working. So we do have sprite indices that we need to check, because I think that was where we were at. It was, where are these sprite indices being generated? Are they being generated at the wrong time, and are we therefore getting the wrong values in there? So, I mean, luckily it's quite easy to catch up when you've only done one game the whole time. It's not like the previous. Let me just move my Discord over here as well for a second. Okay. Oh, Proton with the crazy gambling strats. Okay, right. So we're looking for aim turret sprite index. Okay, can I actually search in here? No. Oh, damn it! All right. Can I get that back? Oh, damn it! View. Show console. No, that wasn't it either, was it? Oh, goddamn! I'll just build it again. It's not going to run because that's what. Oh no, it's going to run. Oh, God damn it! All right. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is that I'm going to add a new kind of stream game to the overlay. I will do the first one, but the idea being you'll be able to play as a group a turn-based game that the overlay will pick a player at random. You all kind of signal you want to join in the game, and then once you signaled you want to join in the game, the computer will pick, or the overlay will pick one person at random to play that turn, and it costs you shillings to join. And if the game is won, everybody wins a profit basically. Or you can be a shit. Yeah, you could be a shit and just lose everybody's money. But I'm thinking about Kodioga suggested maybe opening it up for anybody to develop these games. So as I make it, I will have a think about how it can be done with an API of some kind. It should be pretty easy. I can think of a few ways it could be done. So, all right, let's have a look at the memory location F233. Okay, so this should point to some sprite indices, and it kind of does. We've got 4 here. Oh wait, but these are not our. These are our. Okay, these are just the top indices. These are just the these things here. These crosses here, which is fine. We don't need to monitor those. What we're interested in is why the bullets are not appearing. So let's go and have a look at the bullet function, see what it should be doing, and see if we've done something wrong. I'm guessing we probably have done something wrong. Okay, so add a bullet, and otherwise we'd return. So if a bullet is being added, then we definitely would be doing this increment. So there's definitely 2 bullets being added. Some values have been added to... oh, hang on. We're adding to the bullets, but we're not actually drawing them to the screen anywhere. Okay, so that's fine. This is perfect. So what we're doing is we're actually adding some values to the data bullets array, the structure up here to this thing here. We're just not updating anything. There's no bullet update that actually draws these values to the screen. So what we need to do is we need to, as well as generating, which we don't actually do in here. Is there an init for this? There's got to be an init somewhere. Yeah, here we go. So as well as generating the sprites that make up these, which is done after we've initialized these. So as part of the initialization, what we're going to do is we're going to generate the sprite indices for these bullets as well. Good choice of tune. Okay, so that basically just means we need to do this kind of to generate a sprite value, basically. We can do this kind of directly rather than adding the sprite in here. Actually, no, we probably do need to add the sprite in here because we need to go and grab the value from... well, we need to set the pointer and the color as well, I guess. So, yeah, it's fine. We'll do it in here. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's go all the way back to this screen because this is a good example of it. And we'll use that. Basically, we just need to do this twice. So we're going to do this and store x at data.bullets.sprite index with 0. Index +1. Right. So this is, we don't need to change these indices. We can keep these the same all the time. There's no point in us kind of having to regenerate this all the time. Likewise, we don't need to change the sprite pointer either. The sprite pointer can remain the same all the time as well, which is this one here, bullet sprite. As for the location, we probably should start this off screen somewhere so it doesn't get rendered. So I'm just going to take a quick look at what we do on here. Actually, we don't do anything on here. We're just adding the aim to it itself. So that's going to actually be in here. Okay, well, it's easy enough to do. All we need to do is set an x of 0. If we set an x of 0, it will appear off in the border, and we won't see it because it's quite small. Small sprites, like 3 by 3 or something. Y value doesn't matter. I mean, I guess you could say we should stagger them so that they don't interfere, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Aim up, down, left, and right. What do you mean? Up, down, up, down. What you want about? Where are we talking here? And why didn't I hear the listen? That was weird. Will the chat be spammed out caused by the game? No. So this is one of the reasons turn-based is the idea is so that only one person plays around. So if you imagine a game that's got so the game I'm thinking of has up to 6 rounds, right? So what will happen is one person will use their channel points to initiate the game. That can only happen once every 20 minutes or so. When the game's initialized, there'll be one spammy session where people type play to join the game. I'll go back in a second. You mean up here? I don't know what you mean. There'll be one spammy session where people type play, and then once they've all pressed, once everybody's typed play, just one person at a time will pick. Yeah, this is where the turrets are aiming steps. This is the 2 turrets aiming down, 2 turrets aiming up. Yeah, once everybody's pressed play, one person will be selected to play that round. So there will just be one person for each round typing one command in. So it shouldn't get too spammy at all. I say once every 20 minutes there may be a flurry of plays, but we can always request people do those through private messages as well. There's no reason that they have to type them into chat. They can be done in private message. Anyway, I'm very aware of the. Can someone buy into play with one shimmer? No, there will be a set amount to play. It'll be something like 10,000 shimmer shillings to play, or something like that. Okay, cool. Right. So with that in mind, fixed stake but variable prize. Yeah. So like I say, if 10 people all play, then the prize pot will be 100,000, and that's not spread out between you because that wouldn't make any sense. You just get your money back. That's 100,000 each if you win. So the potential to get a lot of shimmy shillings, but also the potential to lose as well. And you're relying on everybody else getting things right. So it should be interesting. Okay. Right. So we generate those sprites. We had the sprite indices. Okay, so now we've got 2 sprites with the sprite indices. Now what we need to do is in the update in here, we need to update any bullets. So we can see we've got to shoot the turret here. We've got to skip here. Okay, so this is processing per turret. So we don't need to. So this just processes one single turret. So let's put that there. And then let's down here. Now update bullets. Okay, so the bullet updates are going to be quite simple as well. So what we need to do here is start. Actually, let's go backwards. So I'm just stopping my cat. My cat's managed to open the door into my workshop area last night, and I'm not sure how they did it because it's like sliding doors with like magnets that hold the door shut. So they must have put some serious pressure on the doors to open them. Because this is a loop, I'm going to go backwards just to make sure that the it's as optimal as it can be. Oops. Okay, so we should probably split this out into update bullets and update. In fact, yeah, I will do that. No, because I don't want the overhead of that extra core, so I'm just gonna... Actually, what I'm gonna do is this. Yeah, no, do you know what? Sod it. I'll just leave it. I was just gonna scope this out with a different name, but I'll just leave it in here. It's fine. I'm just causing potential problems later. So update every bullet, every frame. No, bullets will be updated because there's only two. We're going to update everything in one frame. They should be pretty easy to do. All we really need to do is grab the bullet positions, add them to the multiplexer, and that's kind of it, really. So let me grab that. Where's the shoot turret button? There we go. I've got a raid there. Anti666, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome along. Hope you're doing well. Welcome everybody that's come along with Anti666. What have you been doing tonight? Can someone do a shout out for Anti? I've not seen Andy tonight, actually. Where's Andy? That's a good point. I'll do it, don't worry. There we go. Some Rust coding. Awesome. Yeah, so on this channel we do assembly language primarily for the Commodore 64. We do a little bit of Game Boy. We do a little bit of Mega 65 as well, but mostly Commodore 64. How's the progress on Cecconoid? It's going well. It's slow because we've taken a long time to build the framework around it, but it's going well. Which Andy? Oh, not you, Thalamus. I meant Andy Magic Knight. He's a mod. He usually does the shout outs. That's why I was asking, but I haven't seen him tonight. I think he's busy. I think he's working. He's a busy man in the evenings at the moment. Okay. Yeah, and at the moment we're doing the C64 Cecconoid. We're at the point now where we're just kind of working through each screen one at a time. The framework's pretty much in place now to build the entire game. We just need to... actually, that should be... we just need to work through each screen one at a time. There's a few little things here and there we need to code, like this is a new area that needs to be coded, but every time we do a screen, the next lot get a little bit easier because half the code's already done. So, what do I want? Sprite index, Commodore Y, transfer that to the X register. Now take this and store that at, oops. This, there we go. Right, and I just need to copy that to do. So the moment this is just going to generate a sprite stick. Well, the sprites are already going to be generated, but this is going to actually put it onto the screen. We're only updating 2 bullets at a time, so they're not going to move at the moment. They're just going to appear. So actually, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to temporarily make these bullets red so they stand out. And we shall see what happens. Hopefully, we should see them on the screen properly. And then if that's the case, we can start making them move. We can start making them have collision. So the first step of the collision will be to make them collide with the background. The second step of the collision will be to make them collide with sprites. Colliding with the background should be fairly simple. We just need to convert a sprite position to a character position. Check that character position. If there is a character there, then if in other words, if it's non-zero, then we just remove the bullet. In the case of the character being a player bullet, we need to remove the player bullet as well, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. I don't think there'd be a huge problem if the bullet carried on, but there would be a huge performance saving. So I don't know. We'll see how it feels when we get to it. Let me close all these windows. All right, let's give this a try. So hopefully, what we're going to see now is we're going to see 2 red bullets appear on the screen when we move down. They're probably going to appear exactly where the turret tops are. Aim turrets line 148. Yeah, I've done that down here as well. What is this? I don't see any of the tunes anymore. I need to fix that. Are X and Y correct right now? What do you mean X and Y correct right now? Oh yes. So the Y index is our index into our structure, and the X register is the sprite index into the multiplexer. So yeah, it's correct. I feel like something's not worked there as well, or it did work and I just missed it. Anonymous Cheerer, thank you very much for the bits. Appreciate it as ever. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Anyone else getting Elden Ring, whatever it's called? I forgot what it's called now. Anyone else getting that tomorrow? I'm kind of looking forward to it. I've not played a Souls game properly, and I realise it's more of an open world RPG than most Souls games, but it is still a Souls game at heart. So there we go, and we can see we've got 2 red dots now, exactly where the cursors are. So that's perfect. That means they're working. No, I haven't played any of these. So I played little bits of all of them. I wouldn't say I've got very far on any of them. I've got Demon Souls for the PS5, and I do find it incredibly difficult. But the way I see it is, I don't really care that much. As long as I can play through it eventually, even if it takes me forever, I will play it. I don't agree with some of the people out there saying, "Oh, they should have added an easy mode." I agree they should maybe add a difficulty mode in. Not everybody wants to play it on ridiculously hard. For some people, the easy is hard, right? So the argument that it's supposed to be difficult doesn't really matter. There's levels of difficulty. What's easy for one person can be incredibly difficult for another. So I don't agree with that. And these people, anyway, that gatekeep the games and say this, the people who say there shouldn't be easy modes and things like that, unless they're playing the game and completing every single achievement, they can just shut up. They don't know what they're on about. To me, that's just bad design. Yeah, I think there should be difficulty levels in it, but they've never put difficulty levels in their game, so I'm kind of okay with it, I guess. But I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, because they could have many more people playing their games, but they don't want to make the games easier. I mean, I'm yeah, exactly, Thalamus. I'm the same. I'd rather play a game on easy or normal, but I will play a game on hard. I used to be a hardcore achievement hunter, so I used to play through all my games on hard mode or hard mode plus or whatever they were. So I totally agree. Achievements and badges are the ultimate reward. Yeah, this is what makes me laugh. Right, the people who are saying, "Oh, games should only have hard mode." They shouldn't make a game easy, because then you're not playing the game. You're not playing the content of the game properly. Those are the same people that will complain about collection achievements and stuff. But if they don't play the collection achievements, they're not playing the game properly. They're going against their own arguments. So yeah, exactly. Being hard is part. That's why I'm kind of just. Oh, I'm all right with it. Their games are actually quite good. I must admit I'm not very good at them, and I didn't get very far on any of them. But they are very nice games, and they're very well made, and they're very challenging, which I can see the enjoyment in. So I'm fine to just kind of have a go and see how it goes. But yeah, I agree. Some people do just want to be able to play through it and enjoy the ride without getting stuck in the first area. Yeah, that is frustrating. On the other hand, there is something to be said for kind of, oh, what am I doing? I'm trying to play through the level. There is something to be said for games that make you think about stuff. So if you imagine like World of Warcraft, for instance, if you imagine a new expansion comes out, new raid comes out, and imagine if the first boss you got to, you could just steamroll and there was no thought to it at all. It's having to think about those encounters that makes those raids exciting. Sure, after a week or two, everybody knows how to do it and everybody steamrolls everything anyway. But that first time you go into it is a kind of a magical feeling. The first time you don't know what the hell's going on and you've got to figure it out and you've got to figure out a strategy. That's kind of cool, and I think that's what they're trying to capture with these games, is to kind of work out the strategies, if you like. So anyway, whatever. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I hope so. We've only got 64k. Your game can't be too easy. All right, so we've got the bullets here. Let's make them move now. So we're not going to make them hit anything. We're just going to make them move. They're just going to keep looping around the screen, but they're going to move in the direction that they were launched at. Actually, one thing I did notice there. Actually, did they appear straight away? Because I'm wondering if there's a line of sight check on these as well. Because if there is a line of sight check, that's something we're really not going to be able to do. Not without any serious performance hit. I think it's probably safe to say if there is a line of sight check, we can kind of ignore it. Interestingly, though, these appear to just be shooting anyway, even though they're not aiming. Like, none of those turrets are aiming at me yet. Like, that one is now aiming at me. But these ones weren't. So I need to make sure they only shoot when they can aim as well. So let's sort that out. Let's take a look at the shoot. Shoot the turret. Is there a free bullet space? Can we shoot yet? Okay, so the bullets. Okay, so it is actually shooting as soon as they can shoot. So in that case, what we need to do is, can we shoot yet? So take the value if it's equal to 0. Okay, if we can shoot, should we shoot? So that's the step that we don't have. We need to check if we can shoot, and that's going to come down to basically the update. So the update is working out whether or not we should aim the turret or not. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to add another flag into this data here. Actually, can we do it in stat flags? Maybe. I'm not gonna add it into stat flags because I'm not sure what more we might need to add in there later on. So instead, I'm just going to create. Actually, no, it kind of feels like it should be in there. All right, we'll put it in there. Stat flag. All right, let's just add one in here. Let's do it number 4. So flag aim turret can shoot. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to reset this for each turret on each frame. It's going to get a reset. And then when the turret is aimed, if the turret can aim and it does actually update its aim position, that flag will get set to 1 to say yes, we're ready to aim. So let's take a look. So there should be an aim the turret function. Here's where we are. Okay. Reset solve mod for checks. Okay, and this is checking. We just want to do 1 turret at a time, don't we? So those updates should be doing 1 at a time. Update aim the turret. Aim the turret is Y. Okay. Okay, so we should be taking this value, and if we need to aim it, coming to here. So at this point, okay, we need to grab that again. Okay, let's go and aim the turret. How's everybody's day been anyway? Hope everybody's day's been all right. Oh, what's that active one? What's that? Aim active. Oh, it's aimed. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Actually, yeah, this is the right place to do it, I think. Yeah, I hope everybody's day's been good. Mine's been it's been so. Completing that game was nice. It kind of made me feel a little bit better about myself, but I've not been sleeping very well, so it's been a bit difficult to feel great during the day. But this is an unfortunate way of to kind of turning this flag. I wish there was a better way of doing this, but in 6502 you have to load and then store it back again. In 45 DSO2 you could just do a reset bit on this, and it would be a bit easier to do, save you a couple of bytes and cycles. But it's fine, we've not got that. Do you know the game called Vampire Survivors? Kind of game for me, pretty killer, doing like to resist enemies. I don't know. Cool. All my unit tests are broken. Well, as long as you haven't written any code yet, that's normal, right? Problem is when you have written code and all the unit tests are broken, that's not good. But then it shows you that they're doing their job. They've highlighted that you have a problem, so. And you get a time, try listening to Caesar Face and MF Doom Superwar album. I will try and remember that. I won't do a very good job. It's funny to think there are some CC2 games that can be completed in 6 minutes, yeah. By the way, how big is the Cecconoid build actually now? Or you mean how much memory is it using? It's using about half the cartridge, I would say, just over half. Looking at this. There's a bank at the end, but yeah, it's using about half the cartridge at the moment. Most of that is character sets and map sets, because the map and character is kind of using a lot. So in kilobytes, that's what, 256 kilobytes roughly. And the reason it is so big is because we're not doing because we're loading in the map on the fly. We don't need to do any tile compression or anything. The map is just stored as is, and the map is stored with 16 bits per character. So if you imagine a screen is just less than 1,000, it'll be 960 characters on the screen. That means we're looking at around about 2 kilobytes per screen. So quite a lot. Foot Canada, they spoil maybe no telling what's having to work through the stream. No, you can't. Nobody's got any AMK points yet. You were missed. We noticed you weren't here. That should be enough. You were missed only because somebody raided and we didn't get a shout out. But I noticed you. I noticed you hadn't been around. It wasn't that it wasn't like, oh, can somebody, like, why has there not been a shout out? It was more like, oh, I'll do the shout out because Andy hasn't been around. So you were missed. That should give you a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Okay, right. So we've reset this flag. So what we need to do is we need to set this flag if we aim, right? So if we actually do an aim, so if all of this happens, player is above turret relatively. Is it this one? I think it's here, right? Player on the right of turret, jumped on X. Yeah. Yeah. This is it. Okay. So we'll do it here, because at this point, actually we can do it right at the end. Let's do it right at the end. We use or instead of and we use the flag directly like that. Okay, cool. So now we know that we can shoot. Now what we need to do is work out here, when we shoot the turret, should we shoot? Really easy. We're just going to grab snap flag, Y. Oops. we're going to end that with flag can shoot. If that's not equal, in other words, if we can, then we skip ahead and actually add the bullet. Otherwise, we just exit at this point. We don't need to reset this; it's automatically reset by the aim function each frame anyway. But this will just help us, and hopefully now we shouldn't see 2 bullets straight away. I'll have to actually move down the screen to get the second one to appear. If I don't get to lose anyone, go P, go P. Well, I hope it's P. I hope you're not holding a number 2 in. That would be not nice. Okay, so actually now we're not seeing any aim at all. There we go. There's 1, and there's 2. So this one aimed, and the reason this one aimed is because we're behind the turret here, so these wouldn't shoot. But the question is now why didn't we see the aim here? Okay, so there's something a little bit not quite right going on here. Let's have a look. So we should be aiming the turret still. We shouldn't be doing anything different with that. So let me just turn this flag off a second. Test these things out. They should shoot when the ship is in range and in sight. Now, this is what I was saying about line of sight. Line of sight might be a difficult thing for us to do with any kind of decent performance. Because we'd have to check all the character squares between the bullet and the player. So I don't think it's practical to do complete line of sight checks. Right, see, we're not getting the turret aims at all now. So that is actually breaking stuff. Let me see why that might be breaking. So that flag not being set basically makes this function behave differently. This just adds the bullet. This shouldn't affect the aim. The aim should happen. Aim the turret, yes. So we should come in here. Wait, am I doing? Is this breaking something? Let me just turn that off. Just need to work out what the hell's going on here. Or you define a rectangle where the ship has to be in for each turret. Yeah, that's a good point. I'll have a think about it. Let's see how it goes first, because we'd still have to check. We'd still have to be checking there'd be another check there each frame for the bullets. I want to kind of limit what we do, but it wouldn't be too bad, I don't think. But it's bollocks. Why is that? That can shoot seems to really screw things up. I think that stat flag might be because I'm not setting it here, and now it's just not firing. Whereas if I get it working first, and then we'll see how it looks. I want to try and avoid even the tiniest bit of performance that may be unnecessary, because we are going to struggle for performance on some of the later screens. There is some real pain in the ass screens later on, and I want to get as close as we can to them as possible without disabling stuff. So yes, we can add rectangles. I'm not entirely sure they're going to be 100% necessary. I need to have a look what the original one does, but I think it is a line of sight thing. But honestly, it's not going to make a huge difference. Okay, so this is wait, no, and yeah, no, that should be right. And shoot. Wait, no, it shouldn't matter with the can shoot things. So shoot turret should not matter. That shouldn't matter. We should still be aiming. I don't understand why it's not aiming. So without that in place, what checks is it doing? It's checking. Okay, it's checking the differences between those values. Yes. And I'm not doing anything here. This should be fine. I don't understand what's broken here. It's like that aiming the turret breaks thing. Shooting the turret breaks things for some reason. Look, they've got no things on them now. What? Everything built fine, yeah. What have I done? I just seemingly adding that in has broken it. Just this, basically. If I take that out, wait, but that's not even being. Let's shoot the turret. That's not even being used anymore. It's weird. It was working a minute ago, and now it has to be that flag, right? Has to be. I must be doing. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Aim the turret. Oh no, yeah. Aim the turret returns a flag. So, oh no. Check remove returns a flag. So let's have a look what check remove. No, because they would have been destroyed. Let's just work backwards a little bit. Let's just turn it off just to see what the hell. I'm probably going to get errors here, which is going to help me. Oh. No, we're not going to get errors. So what the fuck? Why is it not working? Yeah, nothing failed to compile to build there. Everything's done in here, right? So let me just undo, right? So I did this. No, I don't want to undo because wait. We come in here. Where's aim the turret? Let's add a thing in here, right? I've done something somewhere stupid. There's always one thing, isn't there, that just kind of becomes a stumbling block for the night. Okay, so the aim turret function is running, so that's good, right? So we know we're getting to this point. So let's have a look at why it might skip out of this, why it might fail to get any further than this. Well, the only things that would stop it would be a jump to the exit, right? So anytime we would jump directly to here. So let's. Am I just not putting? Am I doing something wrong here? Have I deleted something I shouldn't have done? Maybe. Let's put the increment in here instead. Where do I update the flags? Well, the thing is, the flag isn't being used at all anymore. So Okay, right. Okay, so it's updating when I get close enough, which is correct. It's just not showing the sprites. It's a sprite thing. For some reason, it's not updating the sprites. Okay, so let's have a look. So let's have a look at our update function. Actually, our update function shouldn't be doing anything. This should be doing it here. This crap here. So maybe it's just our weird update function. Maybe we've broken something in there. Let me go back to this crap here. Let me just turn this off. Ah, I think I see the problem. I see the problem. This value needs to be stored. Okay. Okay, well that's good. That's good. So what was happening is the Y that was being returned was always 0. So actually it would have been FF, so it would have never actually done anything. I was still getting problems though. You had an RTS somewhere. Did that build correctly? Seems like it built correctly. Right, let's not update the bullets at all. Let's just come to here. Because it could be that these sprite indexes are wrong as well. And it might just be moving stuff into weird places. Which is my next check. I think that's probably what it is, actually. Because the bullet update is actually set in the positions. And that's the only other thing that we've done. Yeah, okay, so it's to do with that. All right. So, in that case, what I need to do... Let's have a look. What do I need to actually do? The update function, process next turrets update. Need to update next, store Y, update next. Okay, we don't need to do that then. Because that is already handled by this. So this function is called by the main game loop. So the problem is not that we need to restore that value, but these values are wrong. This value in particular, I think, is the wrong value. So let's have a look. Data bullets. So that value should be generated by these functions here, which means these are probably being done at the wrong time. We need to have a look at what those indices are. I bet those indexes are wrong. I bet those indexes are something really weird. It's going to be that. That's definitely what it's going to be. It's going to be something along those lines. F288. All right. Okay, so it's saying 5 and 6 are our sprite indices for our bullet characters. And if I have a look at F233, So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are the sprites that are being used for this. So they should be fine. And why are they not fine? It's really weird, actually, this. So that's absolutely fine. It's going to comment out just because I need to put it back. Okay, so it's not that. Shoot the turret. Ignore the shoot the turret for now. We want the aim the turret to work, but we want it to work while our update is on. Where's our update? Where's our update gone? Here. So why would this break? Ah. Fucking hell. Stupid. We're counting a loop backwards, so we can't start at the max bullets. We have to start at max bullets -1. God, I'm an idiot. Yeah, my brain's not 100% with it tonight, I don't think. It's fine. We're getting there. Still not right though. But that was a problem. So get the sprite index from our bullets array. Put that into the X register. So that can actually be that. That doesn't need to be that. Save it. 2 cycles there and a byte. Yeah, it shouldn't matter though if there's no. Oh, actually, if no, it still shouldn't matter. The bullets will just be off screen in that case. There's no conditional yet because we're not. There's nothing to. I mean, we can put it in. It might help, but I don't understand why these wouldn't work. I mean, these. Oh, mind you, these have not been reset at that point. I guess that means this is kind of breaking, maybe. That's a good point, Global Baker. I think I will put the conditional in here. We don't actually have it active here either. Okay, yeah, let's put. I mean, it shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't matter. But maybe the multiplexer is doing strange stuff. In fact, I could have probably fixed this by spotted this by running it in the debugger. But yeah, I think you're right. I think this might have fixed it. If this works, then I'm going to give you 10 points for that because that's it's been a bit of a stumbling block. But I think you might be right here, actually. So I mean, they're definitely going to work now, but I need to make sure that when they appear, that they still work. So there's no 10 points yet. It will be 10 points when I check the second half of it. But I think it's gonna. We're definitely going to see the things now. So the question is, can I make them appear at the right times now? So I think let's try that. But yeah, I think it is to do with that. I think what was happening is one of these values was being set, and it was causing the multiplexer to do strange things. Probably the Y position being set to 0, actually, because that does some strange things. So let's just add. So I should be able to add this in now, and then we've got this flag here. If we can shoot, should we shoot? Yes. Okay, so when we add the bullet, we need to... Oh, no. When we add the bullet, we need to do it... Okay, so now the bullet has been added. No, I don't think... Yeah, well, this is why that's why I'm doing this now. I think it wasn't that you've hidden the problem. Though, yes, you're right. Technically, it does hide the problem because that loop never runs until you make a bullet active. But I think that was the problem. The fact that the bullets weren't active yet meant the data was uninitialized, which meant you had uninitialized data being pushed into the multiplexer, and that was causing the multiplexer to crap out and not display other sprites. And the reason why we see the player sprite is because the player sprite's not included in the multiplexer, so that's why that was working. So in a way, yes, you're hiding the problem until later, but I think you were exactly right. That is actually what we needed to do. We needed to make sure we didn't show it until we'd verified that a bullet could actually be displayed. Which I think that does now. I think that's everything. I think I just need to turn on... That's on. Okay, I think that's right. But good catch anyway. Good catch. Because it was something I hadn't even put in yet. I mean, it was definitely going to get put in, but I wasn't thinking to put it in straight away. All right, so we've got our turrets. Yes, and you can see they've now shown their bullets to be displayed. So yeah, I'm going to give you 10 points. That was a really, really good catch. I mean, that was easily half an hour spent on that, and you solved my problem there, so I'm very grateful. Thank you. I cannot for the life of me see that any of the league table data is way too small for me, so I don't know what it looks like, so yeah. Celebrate by downing the entire can and opening the second one. All right. On that note, we can start to do the rest of the routine. This is why starting at 8:30 is good. It means I can have an hour where I just screw things up. Okay, right. Let's get back to this and focus on it. Let's get rid of the increment here. And there should be another one in here somewhere. There it is. Right, okay. So now we've added the bullets. We just need to move these two across the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them across the screen, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove them when they hit a particular position, just so we can test the spawning of new bullets to make sure the... So we could come online later. Yeah, it's a good point, actually. Just come online an hour later. By that point, I'll have caught up where I'm up to. My brain will be somewhat fucking focused on what I should be doing, and hopefully whatever new bug I've created, I will have solved. But then again, if you come online later, it might take... fix the GRE issue. GRE issue. What? I don't know what you mean by GRE issue. 10 points. Are you talking about your own work? For God's sake. Don't confuse me. God damn it. Minus 10 MK points for the confusion. God damn you, man. All right, cool. So we can add a bullet. We need to do the update now. Need a negative, yeah. It should just be automatic. Just the program and then AI. Every time Andy says AMK, it just takes points off him. There we go. Right, update. So this is our update loop. Let's actually. Should we jump out of this to do a positional update? I feel like. Yeah, let's do. Let's do this. I don't like the overhead of jumping into another function like this, but it's potentially going to get a little bit messy here. So let's just see how it works, and then you would manage to. That's actually a more common than you would think error in kind of web pages, where there'll be some kind of bounds check, and the bounds check will say, well, you need to enter a value that's more than less than this particular value. So like the limit may be 1,000 or something. You can't type a number more than 1,000. But some things will let you, and maybe it's like an accumulating. So every number you type in gets added to the previous number. So you can just add like loads of negative, really massive negative numbers together, and it ends up overflowing and going around the top again, sort of thing. Okay, right. So let's do. So the multiplexer has been updated. We would do a color flash here, so let's just put color flash in here because we'll do that shortly. Let's just put to do in, so it's obvious that we do need to do it. And then we're going to do update bullet position. Now, the reason I'm doing it in this separate function is because I want to add collision checks in here as well. So let's just keep it separate for now. Just for that, I didn't have to work Tuesday evening. I wasn't feeling very good on Tuesday at all. I was still struggling from the weekend. I'm still struggling now, to be honest. I'm really struggling with my sleep. So, I just played Forbidden West and watched TV. I'm kind of looking forward to going back and playing the first game again now. Now I kind of know what to expect from the game. I feel like I should have played it for longer before I gave up. I feel like I didn't hit the kind of the right areas and stuff and in the first game, and so I got bored and didn't play it. Whereas I realise now that these open world games tend to have quite a long intro to them. I didn't realise it was open world. That's the thing. Whereas I knew it was open world well, I knew it was once I started looking into it. So, but it was too late by then. But it's fine. I'll go back and play it on the Steam Deck when it comes out, which is tomorrow, actually, isn't it? I think, isn't it? So the emails will start going out tomorrow, I'd imagine. Okay, update bullet position. Okay, so what do we need to do? Right, we need to take our bullet position, which is set here. It should be set by the shoot turret somewhere. Let's check where that is. Here it is, and you can see we are indeed setting an X positions here. It doesn't really matter what the deltas are on. We can leave them. We don't need to reset them every frame. I mean, it's kind of it doesn't really matter that much. But what is important is that we update these values. So let me just take those down. Put them in that fiction. Oh, this class is messy as hell. This file is messy as hell. Right, so those are the values we need to update, and we need to update them with the fractional values as well, the delta values. So we've got these values here. Let me just copy those down so I can see them. I'll get rid of those in a minute. I just want to want to see what they are so I don't have to go looking every time, just to remind me. Right. So let's start with the Y position, because we can test a lot just by doing the Y position on its own. The reason we're going to do the Y position is because it's an 8-bit value, so it's really easy to just add the delta and not have to worry about anything else. So what do we need to do? Well, I've just realised I've done that and I didn't grab the there should be a fractional value here as well, shouldn't there? There should be a X and Y fractional. God damn it. All right. So actually, do we need... Just thinking about this. Where's our aim? We're only storing in X frac and Y frac, so we're not using the high values yet. We're not using the delta X and delta Y yet, but that's just because I have not dealt with the speed of the bullets yet. We're just going to max them out to 8 bits and worry about it later if I need to increase more. So this will be X pos frac and Y pos frac. So the only ones we really need to worry about at the moment are going to be these ones. We're just going to take these values, add them to these, and then take the values and store it in there. So let's do the Y pos. Let's get rid of this. Update bullet position. So this is going to be comma Y. All right, what do we need to do? Okay, so we need to take our... Actually, we can do... We'll do the upper part of it as well. Might as well do this part as well while we're at it. I mean, it's going to be 0, but we'll do it so that we can increase it later if we need to. Okay, so we need to take that value, and that's going to be in data bullets delta frac comma Y. Actually, we need to add that value, don't we? And we need to add that to the carry bit. Oh. Yeah, like that. Yeah, we do need to do the upper part anyway, so... Two delta Y fracs. Oh, God, I hope not. Yeah, good point. No, it's just me badly copying it. That's weird. It's weird how it copied like that. Yeah, that is strange, actually. Well spotted, though. And then this would just be Y pos and delta Y like that. So there's a lot of indexed addressing going on here. So these are going to be relatively slow functions. They're going to be 5 cycles each. So this is going to be 30 cycles. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, we're looking at probably half a line. No, sorry, but with the X-posis stuff in it as well, it's probably looking at about 1.5 lines for the function that does this. But for now, let's just add the Y position in it and see what happens. So hopefully what we should see here now is the bullets move in the Y direction relatively slowly, but they should move. Yeah, no MK points for fixing comments. No, I said that's a new thing now, because we gave quite a lot away for fixing comments last time. And while their comments are important, they don't affect the code at all. So unless they affect the code, they don't get added in. Okay, so there is a bullet down there and it's not moving. So, oh, there we go. There's one moving. Moving in the wrong direction, but it is moving. And we should see it come around the top at some point. There it is. Oh, it goes behind everything, so it's going to disappear. Okay, but it is moving. That's good. And was this one. So it seems to be moving in the wrong direction. Now, is that because the deltas... Okay, I can't remember now whether the deltas were adjusted for that as well. Because we had the values where they would be flipped if they were upside down and stuff. That might not be happening in the deltas. And I don't think it is. So we might have to do the same thing again when we generate those values. So there is... where was it? Not shoot the ball, aim the turret in this one here. So this one would check if the values were aiming up or down. No, or is it this one? Yeah. So if the player is on the right, it would flip a value. If the player was, or whatever, it would do that. Actually, this is not flipping either, is it? Player is above turret relatively. There was somewhere where it has to flip the value. God damn it, where is that? Or is it this one here? Oh, that's right. We subtract or add. We always add here. Used by this now. My brain's not with it at all today. It really isn't. But I need to get this right. I need to get my brain going on this. Okay, so we do a check here and we flip this value, a tan y. A tan y is only used to add a value to here. The deltas themselves, where are the deltas coming from? Let's find out where. Let's shoot the turret. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, see, we're just grabbing. Update the bullet delta. Make sure. Make sure to invert this value, same as aiming. So instead, what we can do here, instead of inverting the values, is we can just store these values in here. So whenever a turret updates its values, there'll be an ATAN X and an ATAN Y. Then that way we don't have to calculate this every frame. We just calculate when we update the value, and then the value is already flipped for us by the aim function. So if we go down to aim the turret, wherever that is, it's all in a weird order. This function. Here we go. So whenever we have an ATAN X and an ATAN Y, store ATAN Y. An ATAN Y gets inverted here, and then there's an ATAN X, and that will probably get inverted somewhere. No, it doesn't, but it gets changed here. So if it's on the left, it subtracts. If it's on the right, it adds. So what we can do is we can store the accumulator in ATAN Y here. So we're just going to grab that again here. I know it looks ridiculous because we're storing it here, but we may skip over this bit anyway. So I'm going to load ATAN Y. We're going to store that at data.ATAN Y, comma Y. Oops. And then here we need to oops. Need to store that one here. So let's just make sure we put a note in to say we're doing it. And then it's the same thing here, but instead of just immediately doing this, we need to clear the carry flag. Okay, cool. Right, so now we've got those values. that means when we do the aim, we should just be able to grab those. We don't need these things here to be quite like this. Instead, what we can grab is so that comes from that table. We don't care about the table value. We just care about grabbing the correct value. Where do I GTemp1? What's GTemp1? Oh, so it's Torah index. Okay, so yeah, we need that in there. So we just need this. Okay, so it's data.atan, atanx, y, and this becomes data atan y. Woo! There's an error somewhere. Ah, oh, seriously, relative address too long. It's actually turning out to be quite complicated, this file. But yeah, whatever. Right. So hopefully this time the bullet will move up the screen instead of down. That would imply that it's... Oh, no, it just moved down, didn't it? I just saw it move down. Yeah, that one's... But that one's not moving at all. Don't know why that one's not moving. Okay, it's moving in the same direction, so that's kind of a good sign. Probably just means the flip is wrong. I mean, this should make it go backwards, right? But let's not do that. Instead, what I'm going to do... I'm going to take this value here. So this is just a temp thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the value that's in here and I'm going to compare that to... I don't know. Well, it's moving down the screen, so let's compare it to F0. So if it moves off the screen, basically. So if it's more than that, if it's less than that, well, we won't do anything. If it is more than that, then what we're going to do, we're just going to remove this bullet. So we're going to take the value 0. I'm going to store that at data.bullets.active. Y. So that's going to turn that bullet active or off. We're going to decrease the value in data.bullets.active count. So it's going to make sure that the bullet counter moves down. And then that hopefully should allow us to spawn a new bullet in. And I'm hoping what we see is bullets get spawned in various places. Hey, Warlock. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Well, I'm having a bit of a nightmare today, I think, with this. My brain is just not having it. But I don't care. I'm going to make it work. It's the last thing I do. I'm going to make it work. Okay, right. So we don't have anything shooting just yet. Okay, we have one bullet that's just moved off the screen down there. I don't know why the deltas are... All right, let's tell what we're going to do. I'm going to set the deltas to a value this time. Just temporarily. Just need to get this working first. That file wasn't saved. Why wasn't that file saved? Okay, whatever. But for now, I am going to manually set that that delta. And the reason I'm going to manually set it is just to guarantee that it freaking works, doing what I want it to do. So we'll just do it here. We'll just say, okay, not moving the X. but we will move in the Y, and we'll move like that much. Well, actually, we can move almost a full thing, right? I didn't see any of the bullets then. I didn't see what happened. But I kind of blinked and missed it. Wrong button. Bit of rain. We've had quite a lot of rain in the last couple of days. We've had storms, you could say. Okay, so that one does move down, and this one doesn't. So, okay, so that's the other thing. We do need to make sure it cycles through these bullets. So let's just see that it's doing that. And then we'll go ahead and start kind of slowly debugging it. I thought this was going to be quicker than this tonight, but whatever. I really don't like the layout of this file. I keep looking in the wrong places for things. I don't know why. My brain is going to certain places and not finding what I want. Feeling I've not set that properly somewhere. Okay. Okay, we should see 2 bullets updating. So I guess the next thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the value in data.bullets.active count, and I'm going to store that in the border. So we should see the border should highlight how many bullets are active currently. Maybe put all bullet. Yeah, do you know what? I'm just not in the mood for doing it today. I'm not in the best of moods because of my tiredness. So I'm just kind of being a little bit lazy as well. It's just been one of those weird days where nothing really kind of wants to work how I want it to work. Not just here. I mean, with everything I've done today has been like this, so it's fine. It's just badly organised. Just the methods in a different order, slightly different order, would be better. Okay, so you're saying there should be 2 bullets active now. I'm definitely seeing one. I didn't see the other one unless it moved down very quickly. But there's the active count is also not going down, so I don't know where that bullet is. So let's set some stuff up here so we can actually see these values in memory. Let's put that one back in. I mean, this should be all we need really, but okay, let's take a quick look at what's happening. So 2 bullets have been activated. Then in the update, it's doing the update bullet position, doing it as part of a loop. The loop is using the Y as the bullet index, starting at max bullets -1, so this will be 1. That loop will decrease until it becomes negative, so this will do 1 and 0. If any of the bullets are not active, it will skip. Otherwise, it will update bullet position. Bullet position is here. Also doesn't bash the Y. It just takes the positions and updates them in the just for the Y at the moment. If the bullet moves off the screen, right down the bottom of the screen, then it sets the bullet active to 0 and bullet count is reduced. So I would expect this to be Y. Right, yeah, let's just put. Do you know what? I am going to move this down because I'm sick of kind of coming back to the middle of the file to find this. So I'm going to put that here. And anytime I need to do a bullet stuff, I'm going to go down here and do it. All right. But why is that not? Okay, fine. Let's just run it. Let's open up the debugger. Okay. So the border is being set to black because no bullets are active. A bullet appeared there and then disappeared, and there's one here. So I don't know what that one was doing, but it disappeared. I'm going to go off the screen, come back in. Okay, the bullet active is reset, which is good. You see when I come on though, this bullet down here kind of flashes on. Ah, it did. It moved down. It moved down, but it didn't disappear. It didn't. It didn't reduce the active count. So something in that is not working. So let's just have a look in here, and let's have a look where our data structure is. F29E. So if I go to F29C, it should have everything. So the first two is going to be which is the next bullet, and followed by the active count. So we should see this be 0 and 2 once I move into that screen, because it will start at 0, then it will update and count. So you can see it's still on 0 now, but as soon as I set it off, actually the active count is still on. Oh no, F29C is here. Okay, so it's saying our next sprite is 1. Oh, which is interesting. But our active count is 2. So if I set it to 0, 1. Okay, so you can see every time I set it again, a new bullet spawns. So it's just not decreasing the active count. So that seems to be the problem there. So let's just take a look. Data bullets active count. That's fine. So maybe we're just using this wrong. Is there another place where that's been incremented? Is it being incremented more than one? So that's the clear. That's just where we're displaying it on the screen. We compare that to the maximum number of bullets. If it's less than the maximum number of bullets, we can shoot. We increment here though. Okay. So let's see. It would come back to here at this point and say shoot the turret. The active count would be low. Okay, this should be the only place where this happens though. Huh. Okay, it doesn't make any sense why that would not decrease. All right, well, let's see if this is actually being called at this point. So let's just go back to that color change. Let's get rid of this for a second. And every time we remove one from the screen, let's increment the border. So the border did increment, right? So why, in that case, did that value not go down? F29C. We still have an active count of 2 here. So it got incremented again for some reason. Why, though? No, active count is just count how many bullets are on the screen. The index is actually handled because the bullets could be removed at different times, right? So let me check though, because maybe I am using it as the index, but I don't think I am. Yeah, we're just using next. Yeah, so we use index, okay. Yeah, so we increment the active count, but then we grab the next bullet. So the next bullet and the active count are independent. But it seems like this is incrementing again, so maybe the bullet is being added. Straight. Wait. Do we need to reset the bullet position? Because could it just be that that bullet is forever being removed? Look about this. If we can shoot, should we shoot? Yeah, okay. Then we go to shoot. We add the bullet, and then when we add the bullet, what do? We set these values, the bullet YPOS, right? So then when we go to update the bullet, which we only do, see now my updates, let me move the update down as well. I think that's half the problem. My update's in a weird place. So let me move this update down to the bottom as well. So when I do an update, I check if the bullet is active. If the bullet is active, then I act on it. And part of that is checking if the bullet position needs updating. So I come in here and it will always be updated. If that value is too low, then I set the bullet active to 0 and I decrease the active count. Seems to be just inks. I'm sure about that next bullet, but it should just be increased until there's a spare slot. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Let me think about that. Because at the moment, what that's doing is it's just, yeah, you're right. Fucking hell, you're on the ball tonight. You should be here, not me. You're on the ball. You're absolutely right. Yep. When we add the bullet, what we should be doing is we should be grabbing. So we do increment this. That's fine. And then basically we can start at 0. There's no reason for us to start at next. In fact, we almost don't need this anymore. We load the accumulator with data.bullets.active x. And if that is equal to 0, we skip ahead to here. We're done at that point. And at this point, we transfer. Otherwise, let's call that find. Otherwise, we increment x, compare x to max bullets, parentheses not equal to find. Now, this should never fail. It should never get to this point. But in the case that it does, we'll just exit. We'll just drop out of this function completely. But it should never hit that because the active count should ensure that if a bullet can shoot, it's because we've got space for it to shoot. So My unit test is still not working though. I'm going to give you another 10 points for this. If this works, it's another 10 pointer. You're definitely on form tonight. I like it. Yeah, but you're right. You're absolutely right because we don't know when those bullets are going to be removed, so we can't just say that the next one is this because then it could just be replacing the one that was there already. But yeah, it's another one. Maybe we just need to clear bullet data also. Yeah, possibly. So if this doesn't work, that will be the bit there. Why is my screen not getting bright? There we go. So check if the bullet is active. If it's not active, we can come here and we can use it. Actually, we don't even need to transfer it to X. It's already in the X. Okay. Otherwise, increase X until we reach max bullets and just loop. So really, it's just doing this twice, but the loop allows us to use more than two. Okay, I think that might work. But yeah, this is what I was saying before. It's a possibility that what have I done there? Press some weird button. There's a possibility that not resetting the data has also caused some issues as well. We shall see. Interesting, we've only got one. Wait, what? I forgot what I'm storing in the border now. Oh, God's sake. Okay. Oh, if a bullet is removed. Okay, well, that wasn't enough then. If a bullet is removed, we should see a flash, but the border should remain the same color as the active count. So it should, if it's bugged, it'll be red. If it's correct, it should go flash white and stay white. There. Can you see? It is firing a bullet now every frame, but it's firing from this turret, which is wrong. This turret should not be able to shoot because it's already actively shooting. So, but I think that's a bug in my logic rather than because you can see now it's shooting from this one because this one's within range, and if I get within range of these, the other ones will probably start shooting as well. Yeah, see now we've got different turrets shooting at different points. Okay, so we kind of have it almost kind of behaving correctly. So the next thing to do is to look at. All right, let me give you some points for that because that was definitely a good catch. Will the turret sprites move when the screen shakes? No. I was thinking about this before, whether or not they should, and I don't think they should because I think it adds a feeling of kind of motion to it as well. Like the top is a separate part, like it's almost on some kind of suspension. So when it moves, it kind of does that because the player sprite doesn't move either. I mean, I can make it do that, but it's just another thing in the multiplayer. So it's just adding more performance things when it might not necessarily be a good thing. We're already kind of tight on performance. I definitely could code it, but I actually quite like the detach. I like the fact that because those things are detached anyway, right? They're not stuck to the actual turrets themselves. So it's nice that they have that kind of that shape. I mean, maybe they could be brought in a bit closer to the turret, so it looked a bit closer. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I prefer it to not, and the performance wise, it's a benefit not to do it. So, but it's an easy thing to fix. I mean, having the multiplexer just add the screen shake values is not a huge thing, but it does add a bit more of a performance hit. to every screen as well. That's the thing. It's not like it would be a one screen thing. It would be a global thing that it would have to add screen shake to all sprites. We'll see. We'll see what the performance is like at the end. I think my kind of my feeling with this game is to go is to go through the entire game, get the entire game working from beginning to end, and then kind of build a small kind of performance harness, if you like, for it, so we can see exactly how much raster time is left on each screen, and then go through each screen, fine tuning the sprite and particle performances, and seeing what polish we can add to each screen as well. It's the only place I think it'd be needed, so probably not worth it. Yeah, because what would have to happen? There's a screen shake X and Y value, and that can be at any time. That value can be set, right? So the screen can be shaken at any time. So that means what would have to happen in the multiplexer is you would either have to have a flag to say the screen is shaking, and check that flag, and then add those values, or you would just have to add those values regardless of whether they're zero or not. But the point is, you would have to add a value to every sprite X position and every sprite Y position as it's being rendered. And bear in mind as well that X is 9 bits, not 8 bits. So you would actually have to add two 8-bit values to get that XMS, the MSP of the X. It's just, it can be done, but it is going to be a performance hit. And I'm trying to save all the performance I can because it is incredibly tight on some of these screens. So, okay, let's see if we can get these bullets shooting in an order that kind of makes sense. At the moment, they're not really making sense. And the reason they're not making sense is to do with the timers. So there is a timer for each of these. And we can see this in the... let me find the timers. Shoot timer, here we go. Oh, actually, these ones are set the same. But let's set them all to 0 and let me set a debug in here. So these shoot timers should be being used to kind of stagger out the bullets. And what should happen is when bullets fire, their timers should freeze, and when they're not fired, their timers should start ticking down. So in theory, what should happen is as soon as a bullet is finished when a bullet is finished, its shoot timer needs resetting. So let me set a constant up here. Let's set that to... Let's set it to FF. Let's max it out for now. Whoops. And this might be enough. So basically what happens is when a bullet is removed from the screen, its shoot rate needs resetting. But only when it's removed. When the screen first enters, the shoot rate should be... the shoot timer should be set to 0, so that bullets can immediately be fired from turrets. Otherwise, you'd have to wait for them to be fired. Oh, and actually, they wouldn't be on the bullet. They would be... Oh, actually, yeah, this is... Okay, so what needs to happen... When the bullet is fired, the bullet needs to know which turret it's come from so it can reset the turret data at that point. So, Jesus, there's so much data in this. It's crazy. Oh, we don't need that anymore. Do we need all of this? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, we do need all of this. All right, so... So this value needs to be set when we add the turret in, when we add a bullet in. So shoot the turret, here we go. And that means we need to transfer, which is the turret. Turret is Y. So transfer Y to the accumulator, store the accumulator data, dot bullets, dot turret index. X. Is there an E on the end there? I don't know. Okay, so we store the turret index, and the reason we store the turret index is so we can reset the timer when the bullet dies. So here we'd have to do. So some of this is going to have to be turned into an actual bullet removal function. From different to 2 bullets at the same time, yeah. And this is because we're not doing this. This should hopefully fix that. And then that would be transferred. Can I use the X register here? Update. X is being used. Yeah, so it's created there. Okay, so I can use X because we've already gone past that. Okay, so that can be done like that, and then that can be store accumulator with shoot rate. Shoot timer X. Right, let's put some notes in here so we can see what we're doing. So reset turret timer, turret shoot timer, inactivate bullet and reduce active counts. Just so that when we come back to kind of making this non-temporary, we know what to do here. All right, let's try that out. Hopefully now the bullets should kind of stagger out a bit more. Do you not want a turret to shoot more than 1 bullet at a time? Yeah, just the turret should only fire one at a time, and 2 bullets maximum. But they should stagger. So if a bullet is bullets next. Okay, if a turret is has fired, then it should take it in turns. It should cycle through them basically. You can make a function out of that and use that also later with a click. Yeah, I think it will be. It absolutely will be a remove function. That's why it's at the moment it's just in here, but it will be a function later on. Absolutely. The great thing with this this function as well, this class as well, is there is another turret later on which can reuse a lot of this code probably. So we might be able to turn it on to refactor the class to handle 2. So at the moment it's just firing from this one and not this one isn't moving. Let's see what happens if I get closer. No, it's behaving weirdly, isn't it? Oh, God damn it. All right. It kind of works and then it goes weird again. So let's have a look at the timers in here as well. So hopefully, did I put the thing in for the shoot timer? Yeah, I did. All right, so we can have a look at the timers and see what's going on. So we'll do this in the debugger. It's easier to work with in here. I've just opened Vice by mistake. There we go. I'll do shoot timer F283. Okay, so we go to F283. We should be able to see the timers for these bullets and see what's going on. Because in order for the bullets to shoot, the timers need to be at 0. So F283. So it's these 4 values here. What happens if a timer reaches 0 and there are no free bullets? It stays at 0. In fact, if there are bullets active, then the timers don't tick down. That's what should happen. So the timers should, in theory, all when there's bullets on the screen, there'll be 2 of them that are at 0, and the other ones will just not move. There'll be nothing will happen. So they all start at 0. So what should happen is 2 of them should spawn bullets. Those bullets should move off the screen. When those move off the screen, the timer gets reset. So those become FF. Then the other 2 would fire because the other 2 are on 0. So they would fire. Oh, and then they would become FF and nothing would tick down. Then they'd all be ticking down from FF at the same time. Okay. So how do we prevent that from happening? Because we don't want them all to be the same. Fuck, how do we do this? Damn it, I thought that was going to do it, actually. By pausing the timers when the bullets are active, I thought that was going to do it, but it's not, is it? It's going to cause them to all end up on the same value, eventually. Do you know what? I'm going to go for it. Let me just test this out and see if we can see the values. And I'm going to go to the toilet and have a quick break. Sometimes if I just go to the toilet and have a think about things, I come up with a better idea, or I can kind of think about the logic a little bit in my head. Okay. So actually, we're not seeing timers. All the timers are on 0 here. Let me just double check. Shoot time at F283. F283. The timers are not resetting. Okay, well that's one thing. Let's make those reset. Set bullets to its initial value instead of FF timer. Yeah, let me have a think about that. I'll just go for a quick break and I'll have a think about that. So let me leave you with the quizzes. I'll be back as quick as I can. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've noticed I need to fix my overlay as well in the Be Right Back screen, so I'm making note of that. Typical. Seriously. It's because I tried to make some room so I could actually see the missing data on my overlay. Okay, so every way I can think about this, it's not going to work with the timers. It doesn't matter if I reset the timers to the original values; they'll always end up basically stopping at the same value. They'll all end up synchronizing, and once they all end up synchronized, it's just going to be a case of the first and second turret are always going to be the ones that fire. So the question is, how do we avoid that? So one way we could have it is when a value reaches 0, it gets added to a queue, and then that queue gets removed from it. So there's like a not a stack but a queue, basically. Yeah, a bullet queue, exactly. So basically, if a timer hits 0, it gets added to the queue. That's kind of a pain in the ass. But I think that's probably the way to do it. First thing to do is to get the timers working properly, because the timers are not working properly. Those timers should be hitting FF and then counting back down again, and they're not. They're just on 0 for some reason. So let's fix the timers, and then we'll add the queue. I think the queue is the only way to do this correctly, because otherwise, if you just set a value, if you just set a hard-coded value, no matter what you pick as a hard-coded value, they're going to end up squashing together, and the values are going to end up in sync. So the only way to do this properly is to make sure if a value hits 0, if a value is flagged as hitting 0, it gets added to a queue, which has its own problems, because what we need to do is we then need to check is the value already in the queue. So it's tricky. So let's get the timers working first, because they should be there. So like, if I put these timers back in, you'll see what I mean by the timers not working properly. You'll see what they should look like and why they're wrong. So I do that. So it should be the same position. F283. Yeah, F283. Load this up. Is that some Epic Games thing in the corner? Okay, so watch these values here when I enter that screen. You'll see that they're is that not low? You'll see that they should start on high values and they should tick down. Wow, they reset though. They just instantly reset. Okay, so that's the problem. There's something resetting those values immediately. Because it did have them set and then they reset for some reason. Okay, so is it maybe when we add the turret? Oh, when we add the turret, it's reset to 0. Okay, that's fine. But should it be? It should be counting down properly. So here's where it counts down. If we hit 0, we come to here. Otherwise, we subtract 1 and we store it in the shoot timer. Okay, cool. Right. So the problem is when we reset, it's not being reset properly. So, which is this bit here. So the turret index should be recorded. Shoot rate should be the value from the top, and it should be storing it here. So is the turret index wrong? Are we getting that wrong? F290 is sprite index. Actually, it's turret index F290. All right, let's have a look. Man, this should not be this complicated tonight at all. I honestly, some days I just feel like I just shouldn't be doing this. Just not having a good day. Oh god, steps. It's also you have a time variance due to players shooting the bullets. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's fix all these stupid glitches first, like the obvious errors, and then we'll work out the logic behind that algorithm. I think the algorithm is. Oh no, that's not that value. God damn it. I mean, the algorithm is wrong at the moment. I think a queue is the right thing to do. It's having a bullet count equals turret count. Avoid the problem by assigning 1 bullet per turret. Yeah, but that is a problem because then we get into sprite multiplexer issues. So the reason why we're reusing bullets like this is to limit the number of sprites on the screen, because there are some screens that have like way more, like 4. There's 4 turrets on here, but there's more on some screens. So basically, what we're doing at the moment is for every turret on the screen, there's 1 sprite, and then an extra 2 for bullets. If we went the other method, it would be 2 sprites for every turret on the screen, and that would be too much. So yeah, it would be a bit of a problem. It's fine. We can work around it. Character sprites. I mean, character sprites might work, but then we don't get the smooth motion, and I think we can do smooth motion. It's just all we've got to do is just cue the bullets. That's literally all we need to do. And also, character sprites are kind of performance heavy. And on a screen with like 6 turrets or 8 turrets and other stuff going on as well, it might be too much. I think it's fine. I think we can get by with what we have. We just need to do some readjustment of things. I'm all for kind of spending weeks and weeks on things if I have to get them right. F290. Right, okay, so this is our turret numbers. And the turret numbers are wrong. Look, 0808. I mean, they're just not turret numbers. These 2 are supposed to be our turret numbers. And how can the turret numbers be 8 and 8 when the turrets are 0, 1, 2, and 3? So there's one problem. F29D sprite index is not sprite index, it's actually turret index, but let's just call it turret index here. F29D88. Yeah, so these are wrong. The turret indexes are wrong. And second Vic 2. Is your multiplex interrupt based? No, it is interrupt based, yeah. Okay, so why? So the turret index is wrong. All right, where's the turret index wrong? I thought we'd. Seems every time I add a piece of code, it's wrong at the moment, and I have to go back and redo it. It's fucking frustrating. Transfer Y to the accumulator. So Y is our. Oh, because we're grabbing the multiplexer index. So it's this file we want. Jesus Christ. All right. Only hardware sprites. No, I'm not taking the bait. Okay, sorry, let's do this in debugger. I couldn't tell you. I'll have a look in a minute. I think because it's stored and restored in a few places, that's why. Okay, turret indices are correct. Although they're both saying 1, but they're like in the correct range now. They're not outside of the range. Let's have a look at F283, which is here. Yeah, so there we go. We've got turret timers ticking down now. I mean, very slowly, but they're ticking down, which is good. I mean, they will tick down, so they'll take about 10 seconds each. Okay, so it seems like those are ticking down correctly. All right, let's have a look at why I'm using gtemp here. Because I don't know, because I'm using it here. I don't know. I mean, I'm loading it again here. I don't really need to load it here. Yeah, I mean, actually, in this case, it's worked out all right because I'm using it here now as well. So, but I guess could. All right. Need to do that. I don't need to do that. I'm going to give you 5 points for that. It's only a small change, but it is a change. So it's a little optimization, so it's good. Right, let's have a look what it looks like now. Because I was just thinking there might be a sneaky way of getting around not using the not using the. Oh god damn it! Not using the queue system by having a value tick up each frame. If the value matches the turret index it's about to shoot, then it fires. And then that way, hopefully, it will cycle through all the turrets. Still don't know why the second bullet isn't moving, but at least we have something happening here now. Let me set the shoot rate, because the shoot rate's a bit too high, isn't it? Because it's only doing 1 bullet a frame, so this is actually 20 seconds ago. So if I do it to like that'll be about 2 seconds or 3 seconds or something. All right. I realized as well my noise cancelling microphone noise cancelling removes whistles. If I whistle, it doesn't appear on the stream. Weirdly, it cuts the whistling out, so I can whistle all I want, and it won't annoy you. Or it might annoy you because I'm making a whistle face, but nothing's coming out. Kind of cool though, right? It also cancels burps as well, which I found out. See, what's going to happen is it's always going to prefer to fire out of this turret than that turret, based on the timers. So at the moment, it kind of looks all right, because this one's never going to fire because it's got a. Oh, actually, it did though. So I don't know what's going on here with that, but don't know why this one's firing again. This one should not be firing again. Oh, because there's shit. The turret time is still counting down, isn't it? So, but actually, this is kind of working all right. You just pretend you whistle. No, seriously, I am whistling, and like I don't know how to show you. Oh, actually, I can do it. Hang on. Yeah. If I turn this off. It's mad. Better than having your brain smashed out by a sliced lemon wrapped around a large gold brick. Indeed, yes. Brilliant quote. That's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy definition of the after effects of a pan-galactic gargle blaster, if I remember rightly. It's weird though, isn't it? It's a really good noise cancellation. Okay, cool. So let's not worry about the order of these firing just yet. Let's figure out why the other one isn't firing. That's why we also don't hear the. Yeah, no, it'll cancel them out as well. The 42nd anniversary edition box set for me, yeah. I need to read them again. I keep meaning to read. It's probably the longest I've gone without reading them. I might have to put them on audiobook or something and go to sleep listening to them. Actually, see, there's a dilemma, right? With Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you've got two options, right? You've got the books, which are really good to read. I have listened to the audiobook. I can't remember who reads the audiobook, but I have listened to the audiobook, and it is good. But better than the audiobook is the radio series, which actually accounts for most of the books as well. It kind of follows most of them. Is it Stephen? I can't remember actually. It might be. I don't think it is though. Oh, it is Stephen Fry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but yeah, the radio series is brilliant, and it goes on. It goes on for quite a while. I think they did one recently. Yeah, a couple of years ago, the most recent one. And it's actually really good. All the way up to the end, it's really good. So I definitely recommend it. And the thing is it follows the book fairly closely. There are a few things which are kind of it just goes off on slight tangents. Well, not by much, but it does. But it's good enough that you can consume both the book and the radio show and feel like they're different but still complementary. It's very very good. Yeah, I when I first heard it, well, actually, no. The first time my first introduction to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was the TV show, the original TV show, and I was like, "What the hell is this? This is amazing! I don't know what it is, but it's amazing." So I looked into it and I found the book. So I think I read the first two books, and then someone said, "You know, the TV show and the was based on a radio show, right?" So I was like, okay, right. So now I have to go and find the radio show. So I found the radio show and listened to that, and then I read the other books as well. Amazing though, still absolutely hands down my favorite piece of literature ever written. Different voice for each yeah. So the radio show is very much it's very much done like you would expect. Different voice for each character. I think for the most part they keep the same people for the characters. There's a couple they change later on because obviously some of them died or are off doing different things. But for the most part, I think they keep the voices throughout. So, but it is very cool, yeah. And you kind of get used to the like the music as well. The music is brilliant from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as well. It's oh god, is it the Eagles? I think it's the Eagles, isn't it? Hitch. Oh, there's got to be a Sid of that actually. Hitchhiker's radio theme. Yeah, Journey of the Sorcerer by the Eagles. Please, somebody search for that in the SIDS. It's got to be there, or just Hitchhikers. Because I didn't even realize it was the Eagles. I'd just been listening to it, and then it came on. I was listening to something. It came on. I was like, wait, that's the Hitchhikers. Um, yeah, please play the Sid if it exists. Arthur injured his arm. Was that when the bowl of petunias and the whale spawned? Or should I say the whale and Agrajag spawned? Yeah, because the bowl of petunias is actually the creature that that Arthur keeps inadvertently killing over and over and over again. Okay, cool. So I could go on and on about that book. It's freaking amazing. Okay, so what we want to try and figure out now is why is the second bullet not moving? We've got one moving, um, but not the second one. Yeah, this is man in the can. Yeah, even like a fly, isn't he? Like he's everything. It's like any time Arthur kills some creature inadvertently, it turns out to be Agrajag. Yeah, it does seem like a bad loop, doesn't it? It's like it's doing one and not doing the other. So let's go and have a look at the updates. So here's our update bullet position. Here is where it's been called. This is our loop. So we start at max bullets -1 and we work our way down. And we keep looping and is it the bullets active is not set? Let's check those values in memory actually. So let's just load it up again. Yeah, you're a jerk. Isn't there was no that was wait a minute, I'm getting mixed up. There's the guy that Arthur Dent is killing all the time, and then there's the guy that has set his life ambition to insult every single person in the known universe. Wow, but yeah, wow, back at the infinitely prolonged. That's it. Yes. So this the guy is immortal, and he's decided to insult every single person in the universe in alphabetical order. So he flies around in his spaceship, just insulting people. But it's the fact he does it in alphabetical order which is the best thing in the world, because it means he has to fly to one planet, insult someone, and then fly off to another fucking planet and insult them. It's just for no reason other than he just hates everybody. Oh man, right. God, I really want to read all that now. I've got to dig my books out and find that, or at least download the audio book. Okay, so we're looking here. We're looking at the active value. So there's only 2 bullets. So we'll just go and check the values in memory. So if we just go and check F29D. Do you know what? I've not been very productive tonight with this, but I have enjoyed the chat. So it is kind of close, yeah. It's close, but it's not quite, is it? Okay, right. So what have we got? We've got let's have a look. Turret index, sprite index, active. So we're looking for active being these 2 here. So we want to make sure that both of these bullets are active. So it could just be that one of them is not being activated. So let's just keep an eye on those values as I move down the screen and trigger them. So one is definitely active and the other one is not. I'm only seeing 1 bullet on the screen at the moment. Actually, no, I am seeing 2. Okay, well, let's just, for fuck's sake. Should get rid of those, shouldn't I? So just make it so I spawn on the other side of the screen, maybe. No, it is working correctly. We've got 1 active. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? But I can. It's just the second one isn't moving for some reason. Okay, where's the second one not moving? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we know that the active is being set, so that's fine. Oh my god, this is so unproductive tonight. Sorry, guys. I hope you weren't expecting more. No, it's fine. We've done a bit. Just not as much as I would have liked. You have off days. Everybody has off days. It's fine. So maybe the fractional, maybe the deltas are wrong, or they're not being set properly, or something. Just go back in here actually and have a look. So let's go back up to the top up here. So let's take a look at the delta values down here. So this is going to be, oh, hang on, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 16. Oh, that's perfect actually, because that brings us 1, 0 on there. So if I go to F2AD, I will get the deltas for each of the bullets as well. So maybe the deltas just are not set for some reason on that second one, and they're still at 0, which means it is updating, it's just not moving, which actually makes a lot of sense in terms of what we're seeing on the screen. So we've got F2AD, so that's this value here. If I move down the screen, okay, let's try to not die this time. Okay, so we're in the middle. We've definitely got 2 active occasionally. But if we look at the deltas, delta x is nothing. So these are the delta y's here. So what have we got? Delta x, delta x here is f, delta x, delta s for x, delta y for x. Okay, so f2ad is here. X, y, for, yeah, this one's not updating. This is not set. If I set this to ff, no, it's moving. So it's just not updating that value, which means it's just going to be another stupid error that I've made when I'm adding the... I'm a fucking moron. I really am a moron. My God. I redeem no more errors. God, I wish that was something you guys could redeem. I'd be so happy with that. So that was just me making a mistake. Actually making a mistake on the previous stream. But you know, it's good. It shows how we can use the debugger to quickly identify these issues. And hopefully now these should move relatively okay. I think the problem we're going to have though is that eventually they will sync up so that only the first one shoots. And you can see, yeah, see they've synced now. The same turret can shoot more than once, so the turret itself needs to be locked until the turret's finished shooting. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to add... let's have a think about this. We've got can shoot. Let's create a locked flag here as well. So locked basically means that it's shot and we're waiting for that to be freed up. So let's say... Okay, so in order to deal with this one, what do we need to do? Well, whenever we reset can shoot, we also need to... No, we don't actually. Whenever the turret is added, so when a turret is added, we need to add flag to 0. So this is where we add... No, hang on. No, we don't, because the just when it shoots. All right. So when can we shoot? Should we shoot? Yes, we should shoot. So we increment the bullet count, and we take. Right, so this is basically locking that turret now. So that turret can no longer shoot. So can we shoot yet? If we can shoot, should we shoot? Okay, so we need to make sure that can shoot and locked are both 0. So if we end with those, actually no, damn it, that's... If we can shoot, that's going to be 1. That's going to be 0. So we can't actually check like that. That's fucking annoying. Okay, so we should end it with... Actually, no, it's fine. We can end it with that. So we're going to end it with that value. So we're going to check the can shoot flag and the locked flag, and we're going to compare. We're going to compare that to can shoot. The value should only be can shoot. If it's anything other than can shoot, that means it's locked as well. Oh, fuck's sake. Why am I keep doing that? So only if it's equal to can shoot can we shoot, otherwise we return. At which point we lock the flag so we can no longer shoot again. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to undo this when we remove the bullet. Okay, cool. late for stream again. How working? How's chat? I don't know. Chat's doing all right. They're helping me out a lot tonight. It's pretty good. Uh, is that a port or straight recoding it from scratch? What you mean? This now? This is from scratch, yeah. Or are you on about something else? No, you're on about this. Okay. Okay, so in the bullet remove, which is down here, we need to reset that flag. So we're going to take Command X, reset timer, unlock turret, we'll call it. Okay. I think we're there now. You have a plan for a game after watching the multiplexing stream. Okay, cool. Wait. Okay. Is this shooting as a flag? Yeah, I guess. Is it shooting? Do we have a... Wait, do we already have that? No, we don't have that. So, I mean, it is... We could call it is shooting, but we'll call it locked because it kind of fits with the what we're doing. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it is shooting. Okay, good. So they are... Yeah, they are taking it in turns shooting in pairs now. Okay, so... I'm trying to think now. Okay, let's get rid of the border flash, and we don't need any of that anymore. So it's just distracting, isn't it? We don't need the active count there now. So that one. Okay, right. So the next step is to add the X position movement in and get rid of the Y stuff. With X, we will do a check to see if the number is positive or negative. The delta is going to be... Oh shit! Actually, that's a good point. Oh no, the delta's an 8-bit value, not a 16-bit value. So we can just pick whether we add or subtract the value. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's do that then. Let's make that. I think that's the next step. So again, we'll keep this here. Let's make this. Let's make a remove bullet function. So we can put this temp stuff in because I think this is pretty good. We need to keep most of that in place. We'll just keep it as a temp thing in here for now. We'll put the code in here. So we actually do have a legitimate method, but we're using a temporary kind of check to remove it at the moment. Just because we don't have any collisions, so I did want to check that things were working, which is a good reason to do this because we found a load of problems, right? So, but a little update on the YouTube stuff. The Cecconoid is now up to, I think, episode 52 scheduled. They should be appearing on YouTube every 2 to 3 days. I've tried to do it every 2 days, I think, just to make sure that by the time it catches up, it's going to have caught up in about a month's time or so. And then I've like uploaded a couple of Mega 65 episodes as well to Google Drive. So everything that's scheduled to be shown on YouTube is already in Google Drive. So if you are subscribed, either through Patreon or through Twitch, you will have access to that Google Drive link, and you can get all the episodes before they appear on YouTube, and in higher quality as well, because YouTube butchers the quality. Okay, right. So to move the X, we need to work out whether we're moving forwards or backwards. The problem is our delta is going to show as a positive value. No, it's not. It's going to show. Oh shit! Yeah, this is a point actually. It is going to be inverted because I did invert it. The reason it's a positive value all the time previously was because we either subtract or add the number. We don't. We don't just add negative numbers because the number is a 16-bit value or a 9-bit value. So it's a little bit different here. So what we need to do is this is not going to be as straightforward as the Y section. So what do we need to do? Okay, well, we need to take the delta fraction and work out if it's negative or not. So first of all, we need to make sure that delta fraction value is stored correctly. See, at the moment, it's just stored in here based on this ATAN value. So, and again here based on the ATAN value. So we need to know if it's positive or negative. And the problem is this isn't really going to help us because this value could already be negative, right? So if this, okay. So if it's positive, we go to here. Let's do. Let's assume that's the case, right? And then. Just make sure it's always just quite a low value for now. However, if it's negative, we need to actually change things a little bit. So this isn't going to work either, is it? I feel like the value should always be a fractional value. But then that limits the speed that those bullets can move at. But they don't need to move that quickly anyway. They I think the speed they're moving at's probably all right. Or maximum speed anyway. I was just trying to think how we would represent this value as negative value. Well, I mean, it's easy to represent as a negative value, right? We do the same thing again here, like this. But we do that first. Because the value is going to come in negative, then it's going to go through this, which is going to turn it into a value normalized like this. But then I guess we can set the delta X to be negative here or something. Oh man, this is kind of frustrating. I think this bit needs a bit of a rethink. Okay, so I've got a value, and the value is from 0 to like 11 or something like that, or 12. And that's either positive or negative. So it could be negative 12, it could be positive 12. I need to turn that into a higher value. So in this case, I'm multiplying it by 16. So I'm turning that into like I don't know, 192 or something. 12 times 16, yeah, 192 or negative 192. Now, negative 192, I can't represent in eight bytes. I need to have that second byte to do that, which means I need to shift it. Wait, this would be -12, right? So -12. And if I shift that 4 times, what am I going to go? Oh, God, shit. All right. And brightness on the screen. I don't need that to do there. We don't need that there anymore. Okay, so we know this one's fine. This one's good. We can deal with that. Actually, no, because if this value is negative... Oh, shit. Okay. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to stick to... let's do this. And we'll use these. We'll call them, instead of calling them delta X and delta Y, we're going to call them direction X, direction Y. And we will just work with fractional values. So we start by setting them both to 0. Otherwise, we are going to do... actually, can we do int, X? I think we can do int, X, can't we? Okay, so we're going to increment... No, we're going to decrement that. All right, so that becomes FF now. So this is now negative. And we can do the same down here as well. Okay, so now we don't have to deal with changing those values. We know what the 8-bit kind of value is. But we'll use the other value to work out which direction it's going in. So we need to go and change that, and we need to change our update to add zeros, or would it be add 0? Yes, it would be add 0. Okay, so this would be, instead of adding delta Y, we would add that. So there is no such thing as delta X and delta Y anymore. Oops. The fuck? What? Oh, I'm in the wrong file. That's why. Jesus. I wonder what was going on there. Right. Okay. So, so that means we're only ever dealing with fractional values, which is fine, I think. If it's not, we can always add the value twice or something like that. I think it should be fine though. We shouldn't need to move much faster than a fractional value in any direction. I think a movement of 1, which is what we had with the thing moving down the screen, was actually a decent speed. So for the bullets. Yeah, we want a full 10-minute version of not just the Hitchhikers, we want the full Journey of the Sorcerer by the Eagles. Thanks. And if you can do it with quad SID so it works on the Mega 65, that would be awesome. Come on, Proton. We have faith. You can do it, man. Okay, right. So that means now when we go to add, for the Y it doesn't matter. So actually we probably don't need to store the direction Y. And I will experiment with removing that in a minute. But for look for Eagles Journey of the Sorcerer. It's a tune. It's like a prog rock tune from the 70s. They also shoot when you're not in their range. So the only reason we have a range is just because of a limitation of the ATAN tables, which just shots 4 bullets in the. Oh, it shoots all 4 at the same time. The bullets have a white tip and a red tip. Yeah, we're gonna flash them white and red, so it will be a similar kind of effect. We can't have them directional like that. That's not going to work. They also shoot when you're not in their range. Okay, yeah. I mean, I knew going into this screen that was a limitation I was adding to this screen, but I don't think it's a huge problem. There are every one of these screens has got little compromises. It's just kind of working out which compromises take away from gameplay and which ones we can lose without for instance, the particle count, right? We could do some work to make the particle count higher. We could reduce stuff elsewhere to make the particle count higher, but the particle count doesn't actually add anything to the gameplay. It adds something to the feel of the game, which is why we still got it in there. There is definitely something to be said for having particles in there, but the number of particles doesn't affect the gameplay at all. And I think it's the same. As long as the game feels the same, there are compromises to be made. I mean, the first compromise that anyone playing this will notice is that the screens are smaller. So every one of our screens is like about 20% smaller than... Actually, I can't be bothered loading it in. It's about 20% smaller than it is on the Switch or on the PC. So there's already map design compromises been made on the screens. But Andy's done a really good job of going through and keeping them as close to the feel of the original as possible, and that's what I want to try and do with this. I want to keep the feel the same, even if there are some small compromises here and there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the closer we can get it without compromising gameplay, the better. And one of the things is that this ATAN table up here would have been huge if we'd have included all the possible positions on the screen. It would have been massive, and we can't afford to use a big ATAN table there because we've got limited space. Even with dynamic loading, we've still got limited space. So yeah, it really feels like, yeah, no, that's the cool thing actually. It does, when I look at it and I compare it, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it feel like the original. So that's why it takes so long to get these screens just right. Some things are important, some things aren't. So, but yeah, we'll flash the bullet between red and white. We've got this color flash here ready for doing that. The ATAN is used to work out where the turrets need to aim. So the turrets need to aim at the player and shoot at the player. So they need to create a sprite offset for the turret kind of barrel, if you like, and also that offset, the sprite offset from the middle to the tip of the turret, is used as a delta for the bullet as well. So when the bullet fires, it will fire at that angle. And while we could do ATAN, there are methods to do ATAN on the fly. It would be far too slow for us to do it like this. So we use a table to do it. And the table uses X and Y character positions on the screen with some kind of adjustment to make sure that they fit within a 256 byte table. So it means it's not 100% super accurate, and there is a range limit on it, but it's close enough that it feels correct. Always use that incrementally, adjusting the turret direction every frame by a little rotation. Always use that increment. Oh yeah, so the turret. Yeah, so we only update one turret per frame. So because of the overhead of actually doing that kind of thing, we only update one turret per frame. So they all take it in turns. One turret updates, and it basically just points directly at the player. That's it. It's as soon as the turret is due to be updated, it just points at the player. There's no gradual increment to it, because if there was an increment to it, it'd be too slow. It would never be aiming at the player unless you sat still. So. But I think it feels right at the moment. It's pretty good. Okay, what was it doing? Oh yeah, adding the X direction. Okay, so the X is a little bit different. So we need to grab the X direction first. So we need to check X, comma Y, and if this is negative, then we jump to negative. Otherwise, we're on positive. Pos neg done. Poor Andy's been really quiet tonight. I guess he's been working his ass off. Poor lad. But yeah, incremental would be how I would do it on something else. But in this game, the oh, you're back. Well, welcome back. Okay, positive. So in a positive direction, what do we need to do? We need to do basically this. But this also includes this value here. So there's a whole chain of things. It's just an extra layer in here, and because we're dealing with it over. Actually, this isn't good. This needs doing here as well, doesn't it? Because if this is negative, yeah, it needs doing. It needs doing on both. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, we do need to do it on both. Damn it. All right. It just needs to be a bit smaller on the other one. And this is subtract instead of. All right. Fucking hell. All right. I'm having a nightmare tonight. I really am. We'll get there in the end. We'll get there in the end. All right. So this is going to be the same with the Y. We'll keep that that this in for now. I mean, it's probably going to break pretty soon because we're going to have a bullet that goes horizontal and never crosses that line. But we can use the logic here. I'm just going to copy this entire thing actually and just change some of the logic. So we don't have an MSB, so we don't need to do that. Okay, right. So that does mean that we need to make sure that that is also set correctly, because I feel like we're doing something incorrect somewhere. Hang on. So this is inverted. Should it be inverted? Don't know. We'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so the ATAM value can be negative. So the problem is when we add the turret. Okay, so when we add the bullet, sorry, here. All right. Right, does that store in ATAM Y, ATAM, sorry, the ATAM Y, comma Y. Yep, okay. And the ATAM X is ATAM X here, okay. Or it's inverted there. Okay, so the value is positive or negative already when it comes in. So that means in our in here, we need to make sure that we invert that number. So that would be need to make sure if it's negative that the number gets inverted properly, because we're using this now instead to work it out. Not this, sorry, the DIR value. Is this going to work? Well, we shall see, I guess. Something has not worked. I've broken something in that file, haven't I? Fuck's sake. All right. So this file that I was just in, yeah, broke something because I was pissing around in here. I feel like that's right. Just fucking don't know what I've done there now. I can check in the... Shit, did I don't know if I admit this to Git. I'll have to check. I probably did. That's compiling anyway. Building, whatever. Looks good. Hey, now we have bullets that actually move towards me, and they should go off the screen. Oh, okay. Okay, so we've got an interesting bug there, but we've got one bullet that's never going to actually be removed from the screen, I think. So I don't know what's going on now. Oh no, we've got... Okay, there's 2 bullets there. The problem is now they're doing the... They've gone off that side. They've looped around to this side, so now they've got an XMSB of FF or whatever. So, okay, but it kind of looks almost correct. So let's just add some extra checks in here. Let's do, just to make sure that they get removed more often as a temporary measure. The turrets can't shoot horizontally. I don't know. I've never actually tried. It might be worth trying out. It shouldn't matter anyway, I don't think. But I mean, certainly we can check. Some other temp check in here. This time we're just going to check the bullet X position. So we're just going to grab that value. We'll do a similar check here, but this time we'll check if it's lower than a value. So we'll do compare to like 20 or something. And if it's more than that, jump ahead. Otherwise, remove bullet. All right. So again, this is just a temporary measure. This is just to make sure that the bullet it does get removed if it's going horizontally, just because I want to see what happens when the bullets go in those directions. And then I think we've got about 15 minutes left, so I might just add a quick flashing red and white thing into it, and then we'll do the rest on Saturday. It has taken a little bit of time to get this far tonight. I'm not impressed with the rate at which I've been doing this tonight, but whatever. So bullet-wise, they don't look too bad. Hey, that bullet's not moving now. Why is that one not moving? Okay, there is a bit of error going on here somewhere. Why is that one not moving? Should be faster. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Okay, I kind of like the angles feel right. I don't know why that one's not moving. It is interesting. It shouldn't have deltas of 0, but it looks like it has got deltas of 0 because it's just stuck there. Why it has deltas of 0, though, I do not know. But that's definitely what's happening there. We've got a delta of 0 and it shouldn't be. So let's first of all have a think about how we can make these faster. So it would help if I remove some of these files. It would get less confusing when I have to jump between 20 different files all the time when I'm literally looking at 2. That should be enough. Keep the make file. Well, actually, I don't even need the make file, do I? That's all I need, those 2, right? Okay, so we've got a bullet that's coming in with a delta of 0, so that's a problem. We've got bullets at 2. Let's speed the bullets up first. That's the first thing to do. All right. So in order to speed them up, we either need to call this function more than once, the delta adding function, or, and this is probably the better way, because the delta add function is also probably going to do a check as well. You should jump over the second test if it removed. Could you remove it 2 times in temp code? Oh yeah, probably. Good point. I'll fix that in a second. That's a good point. So we are going to need delta x and delta y here as well. We are going to need the non-fractional values of these. This is a bit annoying, but whatever. Yeah, I'm going to give you 5 points as well for that, Nikmo. I know it's temporary code, but I'm feeling generous with the points tonight. And that's a definite problem. I know without even looking at it. Yeah. Where's it gone? The RTS there, isn't it? Okay, because it's just temporary code. It's going to get removed at some point. Give some more of these so I can see. These will remove me. Okay, so in terms of speed and direction, okay, basically it means these values here need to now be like this. Yeah, the points disappear when the temp code's been taken away. And that means this needs to now be this. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that actually no, this is going to work out all right. I thought this would be confusing to do, but actually it should work out all right because we're already storing the direction value. That and the value that we actually store in the delta is always a positive number. So all we really need to do is make sure that we roll those values correctly when we add the. Right, where's the freaking shoot the turret? Where's the shoot the turret? Shoot the turret. Actually, remove. Oh, see again. Aim the turret is after shoot the turret. You would think shoot the turret would be next. So yeah, here basically we increment this value 4 times. So we're multiplying the base speed. Let me sort out line 300. So we've got the radius is the maximum. It is the maximum kind of delta basically. So if it was just fully in 1x or fully in 1y, it would be 11 at the maximum. This value should never go above 16. It won't anyway because of the turret, but never more than 15 actually, because if it does that, then the multiplication that we do down here would kind of fail. We're absolutely safe to times it by 16 because that value is never going to be more than 15. So we can times it by 16, no problem, and we get this value here. However, if we want to do any more, we have to actually we need to take the value 0 and put it in the accumulator, and then can we even do We can't, can we? We cannot. I was just wondering if we could do opcode shifting comma X, and I don't think we can. Or am I wrong? Oh no, we can. Come on. Why was I thinking we couldn't do that? Okay. So we keep that in the accumulator then, and then now what we can do is we can now do, once we've stored that value, we can shift this one. Just put that there, so we can shift this one in memory, and then we can roll this one in the accumulator here, and we can keep doing that now. So this is now times by. So it's now times by 32, and we can do this as many times as we want to do it, and then we can just store the accumulator at. God's sake. I got my new keyboard as well to build the Bluetooth hot swap keys. First thing on next stream, tidy up code. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I kind of want to get this freaking turret on. I want to move on to another screen. I'm not too bothered with this, but I would like tidy up code. No, reorder the methods. Yes, if that's what you meant, then yes. But yeah, I've got my my Bluetooth hot swap keyboard to build. I've got no keycaps for it, so I'm thinking I might take the keycaps off my Keychron V2 or whatever it is, or V8. I can't remember which one it is. Which is this one? Is this a V2 or a V8? K2, sorry. Yeah, so I'll take the keycaps off my K8 probably and use that. Or I've got a little mini. Oh no, because I use the mini one for work when I go out the office. So anyway, the point being, I have a new keyboard to build, and I've got a load of blue switches and black switches. So I'm probably going to build it all in black. It's set for caps lock, spacebar, and enter, which I'm going to put blue keys on. Maybe escape as well, just so they make a noise when I hit them. And they're a bit harder to hit. I think it should be nice. I might have a look through my keycaps, see which keycaps are for the weak real ones and leather skin on the fingertips. Replace all keycaps with spirals. Oh, fucking. That's like the people who use DAS keyboards. There's bloody keyboards with no lettering on them whatsoever. I mean, what's the point of that? It's just something to show off, really. Because there's going to be a point when it stops being fun and becomes a pain in the ass. Sake. But I'm for some reason I'm really struggling with this keyboard today. I'm doing things kind of weird, pressing the wrong button combinations, and so I think it's tiredness. I think that's what it is. Okay, so we're timed by 32. So now the bullet should be twice as fast. See how that works. Can I show that in Discord? What the the keyboard? Yeah. I'll do a as soon as I finish the stream. I'll take a picture of it. I'll show you how it came. It's quite nice. Comes with a case as well. I mean, I'm gonna fashion a case myself. So I'm gonna take it out of the plastic case because it comes in a plastic. Actually, that's pretty spot on. It comes with a plastic case already, but what I might do is like measure it up, do a design for it, and then see, why are they pointing up? This is the problem with the ATAN. It's not accurate enough to. Oh, yeah, something goes wrong there, doesn't it? They all turn off and then it goes wrong. Okay. Well, I think I know where we're going to start next time, but this is kind of all right, actually, at the moment. I think the speed is good. I just wish it wasn't doing that extra one. The ATAN could be a little bit better. but it's not. It's not a terrible thing. But it would be nicer if it was a bit. If the aim was a bit better from the top. Like this one seems to shoot almost horizontally. In fact, it is shooting horizontally. It's shooting with 0 Y at all. And yet there is some Y to it. Is it going to shoot? Yeah, and that one's shooting with no X now. There's something not right, is there? All right, but the kind of maybe that's what hates its neighbors to it. Yeah, it is constantly shooting at that one, isn't it? And the one at the bottom seems to shoot up. Like this bottom right is shooting perfectly okay. This one seems to shoot upwards really slowly as well, like it is not getting the X value correctly for some reason. And this one doesn't seem to get the Y value correctly. So there's this flash where they all go off. So there's a few things to fix here, definitely. But the basics are there now, and it has taken the entire stream to get it to that point, which is a bit worrying. That's when I missed up. Yeah. Well, the angles are fine because we know they're fine because it should be using the same values that are used to point the turrets, and the turrets pointing are correct. The problem is at some point they're getting the delta values wrong, which means it's probably due to the code that I've just written, which is highly likely. Wait. Is this value even? Oh yeah, it is because we reverse it, don't we? Could it just be that this needs to be done like this instead? I mean, if I get rid of this, let's just try this, right? If I get rid of that, let's just tidy this up a bit, right? And then do this. So do this 1, 2, 3, like that. So it's a bit longer, but now it's doing it. Oh no, it's not actually, is it? It should be like that. There we go. I mean, it shouldn't need all. It shouldn't need all of that, but I just want to make sure it's not that. You missed that. Yeah, you didn't really miss a lot. You missed me making tons of mistakes, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, let's see what happens here. I mean, there's a definite bug where they all flash off, so we need to figure out what that is. But let's get in the middle and see what the turret aiming is like. Yeah, see, there's that one has got stuck there. It's always that one as well. Why is it that one? No, so it's not. It's not to do with that. There's something else going on here because that one's broken and the bottom one's broken as well. Okay, so the original code was fine. So I'm going to put that back because that's way neater than what I'm doing there. And we'll work the rest out next time. Okay. So, should give top left a talk. There's only one out of the 4 turrets. Only one of them is behaving correctly, which is the bottom right. Top left is just gets stuck, and the top right shoots the top left, and the bottom left shoots the top left. What are you pointing at? Oh, Spaceballs. Okay, yeah, let's call it a night there then. It could have been better, but we've done all right. Literally put out like that, yeah. It is literally just one, and the thing is, they're all using the same code, so the fact that only one of them is broken is kind of frustrating. But interestingly, that is the only. No, actually, it's not the only one because you're on the wrong side of it. Is that no? I thought it was the only one where you're always on the positive axis from it, but it's not. There's, yeah. It's Andy. You need to tell them to fuck off. You need to help me. That's the more important thing here. because I'm obviously sucking without it. So, all right, let's leave it there then. Let's leave it there. We'll check the values. We'll go through them one at a time when we come back. I might edit that screen a little bit just to get rid of those freaking mines, so I don't have to keep going there. Or I might start on the previous screen and come in from the other side, so I don't have to go. Actually, no, this is 4 mines at the top as well. I'll just disable those mines temporarily. It's easy enough to do. Okay, cool. Right, let's find someone to raid then. I haven't got my raid window open at all. Let me go and find. First stream I've ever missed. You were here. You were just you were very quiet. Yeah. Raid someone with a pool. Let's have a look. He's on. Cola's on. Let's go and raid Cola. What's he playing? Looks like. I want to say Sega Rally. That looks like. I think it is. Looks like Sega Rally on the Saturn. Let's go and raid him then. Cool. So Cola's a cool guy. I've known him since I started streaming. A really cool guy. Plays lots of retro games. And it looks like he's playing Sega Rally at the moment, which is one of my favourite arcade racing games ever. So I used to spend quite a lot of money on that on my lunch break. And I also used to get it for free quite a lot as well, because I knew the arcade guy. So whenever he came around, I got him to open it up and flip the button a couple of times to give me a few goes on it. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I shall see you all on Saturday. Everything being well, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. But as I say, I'm not going to commit to these streams ahead of time. But I will say that it is highly likely I will be streaming on Saturday. So take care, guys. I shall see you then, and hopefully we'll get these turrets nailed once and for all, or at least mostly nailed. I'm sure the collision is going to be a pain in the ass. Good night. Take care.